What's happening, yo? It's highly offensive. Episode 2. We back at it. Trying to set the vibe. Trying to make sure we set the right tone. Today we're gonna be talking about some heavy stuff in the beginning. I'm sure you guys all seen the news. Rest in peace to Takeoff. He was a certified legend in Atlanta. And it's unfortunate because, you know, while I may not have been like the biggest fan of Migos, like I was definitely a fan of what they did for the culture and what they brought to it. And just for somebody to lose their life at 28 and leave behind so many loved ones, people that, you know, really supported and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shame that this is how he's gonna be taken from them. And, you know, he could have done so much more in his life, and not even just for music, but for his community and his friends, family, and to be robbed of that is it's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
So rest in peace to a young legend. Let's cue up the music. We're gonna play one of his songs, and then we're gonna talk about a little bit about his case and the situation, and go from there.
You walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it. What you walk, no one walk it like I talk it. This my bro, we know the lingo, ain't no walkie talkie. This one you know I don't lingo, we not go out on the coffee, smoke the cookie, keep it coffee, try that fresh, I need a coffee, call it something, keep it coffee, pause it, but I stand on coffee, like money go buy me a coffee, niggas like I talk it, niggas don't call it, I let it go, so I gotta call it, I let the shit, so niggas just don't, shit, get a pill, that's not a problem, close it down and take my spot, walk it like I talk it, 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 walk it like I talk it.
Alright, so that was a moment of silence. I mean, not silence, but a moment for Takeoff. So when it comes to his situation, it's messed up. When I originally heard was that it had been a dice game gone wrong, and there had been an altercation that had happened, and his home bodyguard had hit him. But according to what this new video is saying, that doesn't seem to be what actually had happened. It seems to be a lot more darker than that, which I had kind of guessed, but here's the details.
The news has been broken. Quavo was actually arguing with Jay Prince Jr. And as he was arguing with Jay Prince Jr., he shrugged Jay Prince Jr. off, and that's when somebody swung on Quavo. And as they swung on Quavo, Quavo tried to swing back, and his entourage tried to defend what was going on. The guy that was in the yellow hoodie, he grabbed Takeoff and he shot Takeoff in the back of the head. And when he shot Takeoff in the back of the head, Takeoff was falling, and they actually said he was using Takeoff as a shield, and that's how Takeoff got actually hit the second time. So Jay Prince Jr. is behind all this, and that's why they was covering up what really happened and everything. But it's some new breaking news that just hit the internet, man. Jay Prince Jr. and Quavo was actually arguing. Jay Prince Jr. didn't like how Quavo was talking to him and everything, and he tried to boss up on Quavo, and it got heated. And the little dude in the yellow jacket, that's the actual shooter, man, and knowing this from the jump, man. So yeah, that's why Mob Ties, so-called, been trying to cover all this shit up, man, because they knew they was gonna have to answer for this shit, man. And they knew Jay Prince Jr. was behind this. And that makes so much sense why Jay Prince Sr. made that message and said, you can't hide behind me. So basically, y'all finna get this guy right here.
Fucking even Facebook took the shit down. Mom's watching.
Has been broken.
Whatever.
Quavo was actually arguing with Jay Prince Jr. And as he was arguing with Jay Prince Jr., he shrugged Jay Prince Jr. off, and that's when somebody swung on.
Man, well, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I guess like what bothers me about the whole situation is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that bothers me. Even like the move the dude pulled. Grabs him probably by the hair, shoots him in the back of the head, and then essentially uses him as a meat shield.
Yeah.
Like that's some video game shit.
That's some other shit.
You know what I mean? Like that's some shit I've seen in movies and like probably like John Wick or some shit. But like that's not something that you just ordinarily just think about pulling off. Like this motherfucker, I mean, the shot to the back of the head was bad enough. But let's say even like if there had been a small chance that he could have survived that, to then get used as a meat shield, like there was, that's pretty fucked up. But what really upsets me is even just about the fact that this shit happened with J. Prince Jr. and his entourage, mob ties. Like, I don't know if y'all know what checking in stands for and what that shit means, like in the rap community and shit. But you know, it's a real predatory thing where if you go to certain cities, like let's say Los Angeles, Dallas, you know, certain cities, these nobodies essentially charge you for being there, and in order for you to stay safe in their hometown or whatever, you gotta pay like a ransom. You know what I mean? And it's messed up. That's even a thing, because like the thing is, like they never do it to like successful white people. You know what I mean? Or not that they should, but they don't do it to them. They only prey on their own. You know what I mean? It's always, and I hate this fucking term, but let's be real. Black on black violence.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we can call it hood shit. We can call it whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, terminology you want to label it. But this is stuff that is common and happens often. And it's a damn shame, because like, imagine how hard Takeoff and the rest of his group, and not his group but his family, because that's his uncle and his cousin, and so to how hard they must have worked to become legends in Atlanta, to then go somewhere where you're being harassed by people that aren't legends for anything, people that didn't work hard their lives. They just strong arm you for your money. Like, that's what they're good at. Like, that's the only thing that they're good for. And it's like, that's what you want to be known for? Like, just strong arming your own kind. And if they don't pay up, there's consequence. People get killed, or if they don't talk to you the right way, you gonna start an altercation and have one of your guys blow old boy's head out, like shoot him in the back of the head and use him as a meat shield. Like, it's crazy to me. And the only thing I can hope is, and this is gonna sound like some snitching shit, but you know what? Like, I'm not part of that culture. I'm not a hood nigga. I'm not no street nigga. So those things do not apply to me. You know what I'm saying? Though I know that by what I say, I can also invite shit to happen to me. And as a man, I stand on what I say, and I will live on my own, by my own morals and code. But it reminded me of when Tekashi 6ix9ine and what was it, 9 Treyway, they all got locked up and got hit with RICO charges. I hope that's what happened to J. Prince Jr. and mob ties. I hope the federal government just cleans house. Because if the cops can't do it for whatever reason, because they too scared or whatever, I mean, clearly because they wasn't trying to go in Uvalde when that fucking school shooting happened, so they clearly ain't trying to deal with these thugs. But I hope, you know what I mean, like the federal government just hits them with some RICO charges and cleans house and gets them the fuck out of there. Anybody that's with this whole checking in bullshit, y'all gots to go. I don't give a fuck. And that's why there's motherfuckers like Charleston White that exist. I don't know if y'all know who he is. I love that motherfucker. He is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Because he's all about shutting down that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he tell like how it is. Like, these motherfuckers, and even like the rappers have a negative, like these rappers have a negative impact on the culture to some degree because they promote violence, drugs, and all this misogyny and toxicity and all this bullshit. Even though that may be the case, we still love them. You know what I mean? Like that. Those are because everybody human. No matter what, at the end of the day, you know what I mean. Ain't nobody perfect, and so I don't expect anybody that when I listen to their music for them to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think people express a lot in their music what they experience. So like a lot of people, they like talk about shit that they see every day. So if they see all that negative shit, like it's really what circumstance brought up to them. So I can't.
A product of their environment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I understand that, but there gets to a point where it's almost counterintuitive. It's almost like you're the drug dealer. You know what I mean? Like selling crack to the community.
But you
and it's like,
who's the person that's like, who's the Pablo Escobar of the music industry? Like who owns that?
I mean, the Jews. The Jews.
I mean,
but that's what Kanye. That's exactly what Kanye's.
Whoever owns like publishing, licensing, the record company, the people that put on the shows, all of that. Whoever owns that, this is the image and message that they want to push. Because they can literally easily say, hey, like, we don't agree with what you're saying. Let's not put it out like they did with Kanye, like all of his platforms.
But that's the problem is that the labels are owned by these Jews with millions of dollars. And that's exactly the fight that Kanye's taking up to them. Is he's saying like, yo, why are y'all pushing this into my community? Like, if y'all saying it's anti-Semitic to say that black people are the real Jews, how is it not racist for y'all to own all these record labels and push that product directly into our community? Not y'all owns because y'all don't promote that kind of drug use and shit and fucking rock and I mean not so much rock, but like let's say country or folk music or any of that shit. Y'all don't. These record labels aren't pushing that into those communities. It's only one community that they're pushing it into, and that's the black community. So how much, like, so if we look at it like crack being peddled into the community, how many overdoses does it take for be like, all right, you know, it's time for a change?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's in all pop music. I mean, like Post Malone's pop music, and he talks about
Post Malone started through rap. He only converted to pop after he got successful
like,
and ditched rap.
Even in pop music, they're talking about taking pills and shit, and like doing shit like that. And that's a different kind of drug for a different demographic, but they're still at the same time. It's like they're still endorsing the use of drugs to the youth on like hit songs, like
hit rap songs though.
No. The Weeknd, for instance, like had
R&B
and sniffing coke.
Yeah,
and that was a pop song.
But but even that song in itself, like, I didn't really like. It made me because I'm not a cokehead. But when I listened to that song, I had no idea he was talking about coke.
The whole point, my whole thing is,
you know what I mean? Like,
they're putting out an image where it's cool for you to sniff coke, and they're making it popular and mainstream. So like,
but what I'm saying is that there is a difference between it being disguised versus openly talking about gang drug culture and pushing that directly. There's two distinct.
Then why are they pushing that narrative? I mean, I guess is the question.
I mean, why were black people only hustlers in movies for so long and drug? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the narrative that was pushed, and that's the like it's like that one dude, the Mexican guy. I can't remember his name. But he played the same role in every movie. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like.
Oh, the guy from Machete.
Yes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a racial stereotype that they wanted to hone in on. And they was like, yo, this is what y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's fucked up, but these people in power, that's how they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and of course, it be the people like Takeoff, Migos, yes, they're responsible for signing these fucking record to these record labels who push that shit. Yeah, they get money to do that. But like, ultimately, though, they're human. They're just trying to survive their neighborhood. They're trying to get out of their environment.
My
so
thing is like they're putting out whatever they're being told is popping. And obviously people are listening to it. They're playing it, streaming it, all that good shit. So like that's the target audience. because they're making the money, they're getting them streams and shit like that. But I don't necessarily feel that's what the artist would say, like express. You'll see a lot of artists like not be under major like labels, and they'll do their own music, and people won't necessarily like it even because like they're doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So they're not doing whatever is popular or will sell concert tickets or whatever is trendy. A lot of people do trendy shit and they do really well with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens. But it's all, you know, a puppet show.
I mean, it definitely is, but there has that. So to try to get back on topic and shit. I mean, look, realistically, the record labels, they make billions off pushing this poison into the black community, so they're not going to change. That at some point it's going to be on black people to change the culture themselves. That's just what it is. But the fact that this bullshit checking in culture exists, that shit has to go. Like if you want to change the culture, start there. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of these vultures that prey on y'all brethren and rob them for money, essentially, because they're too talentless to do nothing with their life. You know, get rid of those motherfuckers, these so quote unquote real niggas. Clean house and start changing the narrative. That checking in shit, that shit gotta die with Takeoff. And fucking, I mean, clearly the Juminati gonna promote what they gonna promote, so let's change the lyrics to match what we trying to do. We trying to survive. So if we trying to live, let's rap about living good, not fuck rapping about the ops, killing the ops, shooting the ops, fucking all that shit. Fuck that shit. Let's just rap about life. How about we rap about growing up and raising your kids? Because that seemed more respectable to me than dying in some fucking bowling alley over whatever the fuck this bullshit was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, again, rest in peace to Takeoff.
Rest in peace, Takeoff.
You gonna do more than millions of other people will ever have done in their lives. So rest easy knowing that, you know, you accomplished great things, and it's a shame. I hope you get justice. My condolences to your family, to the rest of Migos, to your fans. Shit is brutal. Fucking man. Sorry to the audience. Let's make it lighter.
Yeah. Well, speaking of terrible shit, let's talk about the dad that buried his kid.
Or not.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. That's just crazy.
Yeah, he's accused of brutally abusing his 6-year-old daughter. He found bruising on the girl's face and body. He buried the girl alive in a hole in a yard, which left her smelling like sewage. Which I'm guessing is not like, you know, pee-pee, but definitely the doo-doo. Buried in the yard when he said he believes that she is lying. So, I don't know about you, but if you bury your kid every time they're lying, you're burying that fucking kid alive. You'd be lying about the craziest shit in the world. Or, you know, just fantasizing about, you know, some shit that's...
When did burying kids become your go-to move? No, not even the punishment. But the go-to move. Like, this dude is doing, like...
No longer a quarter suffice. You're getting buried.
Not
in the
even the
backyard,
belt.
Like, motherfucker.
Just...
Like, you're getting buried right now. Put it in the hole.
Get the shovel.
Time out. It's time in. Don't fucking ground, bitch. No more time out for you, motherfucker. Dig dirt down. Get in the hole. It smells like shit here, Dad. I don't give a fuck. I didn't ask you. Get in the fucking hole.
I've been lied to by kids plenty of times.
We've been the kids lying. And
Yeah.
But
Everybody's been that lying kid.
not once have I thought, let me bury this nigga in the backyard. Like,
Yeah, people have been hit with switches, locked in fucking cold areas, put in bathrooms with the lights off, soap in their mouth, Neil on rice. I never heard of niggas putting people in holes. I bet you can guarantee you would know what kind of person this is just from the fucking description of the kind of punishment that we're talking about. Because only white people can create new shit to fucking torture other people with on the regular. It just seems like whatever you figure like
he looked like a Dahmer too. Like
he definitely looks like he looks real crazy. Like he looks
like a Dahmer / pedo kind of like vibe.
He looks like a human version of a fucking Simpsons character. That's what the fuck he looks like. Like he's the goddamn, I don't know.
My question is, where's the mom and all this shit?
I don't know. Well, he's obviously, you know.
The mom's not under 6 feet. She was like, deuces.
He beat her with a belt in his arm, which has a metal rod in it from surgery. He beat her with a metal arm, like he was on Cyberpunk 2020.
Hell yeah! But just think about this, yo. Like I thought like my childhood was traumatic. Clearly, it was not traumatic enough. Because when I got whoopings, I just got sent to bed. Like I got some whoopings and there was like, go to your room. And I was like, let me cry these tears off and rub like the area where it's
crying. It's like, fuck you guys, whatever.
Rub that big.
Where are my butt cheeks? But imagine getting the whooping and then getting sent to your tomb. Like, getting just buried just neck deep under dirt. Like,
and he probably made her. He probably made her dig.
Oh, he's not digging himself.
She definitely got that whole and probably sang while she did it on some weird serial killer shit.
You probably whooping her while she was fucking
sipping his Budweiser and shit, having her dick. Speaking of adults that abuse children, why did Damon choke Rhaenyra is beyond me. I mean, you're out here choking your niece. I mean, it wasn't for sexual pleasure, I don't think. But I definitely...
What do you expect from a guy that fucked his niece? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know when you get to just choke her randomly when you just feel the spirit. I'm
surprised he didn't do it sooner.
He didn't say the motto when he did it. He just said, ugh, bitch, like, don't you ever cross me, say this, do this type of behavior again. Like, there was no type of verbal...
Yeah, but at least she didn't get buried.
I don't know. I think
she got choked a little bit, and honestly, she enjoys that because she's a little
She
weird.
didn't have a problem with it.
She's a little kinky.
She wanted that other penis from a long time.
Yeah, everything. He took it to that brothel. Yeah. If not before then, when he put that necklace around her, like on episode 1, I was like,
mine now. Not you come and whip me. Yeah, that was some sick shit.
But. This is.
No, tell me what your perspective is on this.
Oh no, I'm just bugging, right? Because there's an outcry, like cancel culture and shit, like those fucking losers. They saw this scene and they were upset, and that's why I said, like, what do you expect from a guy who was fucking his niece? This is Game of Thrones. People like the wildest fuck shit is on this 1 hour episode. Every episode.
In niece pussy, and you're questioning
why he's choking her. When like honestly, like, I understood it. Like,
you don't have child protection.
He was like, yo,
he was doing whatever the fuck he was. Clearly,
think about it like this, like the fucking High Towers just stole the goddamn throne. Yeah. Didn't even tell you your daddy died. Yeah, just
like,
took your
with
shit.
The dragons, bitch. What's wrong
and she's like, nah, let's just. We'll take Dragonstone and what's that one that the kid was supposed to get before he got turned into a munch? A little 4 for 4. You know what I'm saying? Like,
got turned into a value meal.
But
no fries.
Nah, man, like that shit is stupid that people like were seriously rooting for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like don't get me wrong, right? Like at some point I kind of started to root for them because she was so isolated that like she literally had no one else but family to turn to. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I kind of get this, but it was never like something that I was like glad happened. I was like, this is disgusting, but you're Targaryens. Like, this is what you guys do, whatever. But there were people that were watching from the outside, like just fucking rooting this thing on. Like, this wasn't complete pedophilia, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like, to then be outraged that he choked her, like, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, from episode 1, like, his brother is fucking dying from leprosy and he's just cracking jokes. Like, life hasn't been too good to you, brother.
He's fucking with his fucking brother like that while he's dying and shit. He's like, I know you got a hole in your eye, but I can see that you're.
But my bad for cutting off the segue, which was a really good segue that you did too.
I mean, I was trying to get it in there, but it's all good. We continue on. Speaking of withholding, more men are becoming incels. And if you don't know what an incel is, will you enlighten our audience as to what inceling is about?
Incels is someone that's involuntary celibate.
Involuntary, right? like bitches just don't want that
guy
so much that he's just not gonna give it up.
Well, there's that, right? There's the dudes that just cannot get pussy by any means, right?
That's what they claim. There's no way. It could be many things contributing to their not pussy getting, but carry on. But
there's also now men just retiring from dating, and honestly,
that's not an incel.
It's excuse me. In a way, though, it is because it's involuntary in the way that you wouldn't be celibate. You're not choosing to be celibate. There's no women that you can find that fuckable anymore.
Well, I mean, that just sounds like you're celibate. But these dudes are saying that they're not able to ever get a girl, by any means. They're involuntarily not able to get pussy.
No, that's how the movement started. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's men out there that were just seriously pissed off at their inability to get women. Whether it's because they were too ugly, because they didn't make enough money. You know what I'm saying? They found themselves continuously being isolated and find themselves more alone and not understanding why they couldn't break out of that. And women they kind of don't hold punches when they reject motherfuckers.
Yeah, you ugly fat face motherfucker.
They'll screenshot your shit.
Yep.
Post it on.
Look this lame on the gram over here.
If not, make a whole video about it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't talk to men that just hit me in the DM like this. All right, how are they supposed to talk to you?
I be seeing girls out be I only talk to dudes at 6'2" with a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't 6'3", don't talk to me. I'm 6 feet, and I thought I was in, and now I'm looking damn, 6 feet ain't good enough.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Everybody's unrealistic with their expectations of what they want from other people.
No, definitely.
They look inwardly into themselves.
But
they're lacking or not.
There's also, like I said, while incels may have started with these loser men who couldn't get women. It was joined by men who got tired of women. Yeah. And, if you want to play that video, it's kind of funny.
But it's more elective. It's not like you can't. It's
No. Yeah, that's why.
So then it's not involuntary.
But I think the reason it's involuntary, it's because, for example, if you can't find someone out there that you can see as a serious partner, that's not you choosing to be celibate.
To have sex, you don't have to be in a relationship.
Okay, that's true.
It's not.
But if, for example, women constantly tell you, "Oh, you're just using me for pussy," and making you feel like shit for fucking them, and you have no idea how many times women have made me feel like shit for fucking and bouncing when I told them that's exactly what the fuck I was gonna do.
We have a tiebreaker on this.
A horrible act of violence like this where people die. When you're online, you tend to see people searching for an answer right away. In a lot of cases, if there is a social media profile of the person believed to have done that act, people will look for answers there. And so in the case of the Toronto attack,
clearly not a tiebreaker.
Started searching through
an
account that Facebook has now confirmed is linked to the suspect. They found a post that referenced a lot of these kind of incel.
I don't know. But I meant that TikTok video, the one I sent to the messenger group.
Broad term, except as it pertains to kind of online culture, it means something very, very specific. And the incel community in particular kind of is all bound around this central thesis, which is that the reason that they are celibate against their preference is not because of them or men or kind of societal expectations about what makes a man, but because of women. On some more of the extreme words, you will see celebration of violent acts from people like Elliot Rodger, who had a lengthy online history within the incel community before he killed 6 people in California in 2014.
I've been forced to endure an existence
I remember that
of
fuck.
loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires, all because girls have never been attracted to me.
So if you visited one of
I wonder why.
Incel's, more extreme message boards in the hours after it was revealed that the Toronto suspect may have made a Facebook post that referenced their community, you saw some users kind of celebrating what he did. One post talked about how horrible the women were in Toronto, with the heavy implication being that maybe some of the people who died deserved to die because of the way they had
Yeah,
treated.
I think that they're starting to forget that having sex with them is like a choice. It's not an obligation. I'm not obligated to have sex with you just because you want to have sex with me, because you're asking to have sex with me. It's not an obligation.
No, it's not.
It's a choice.
It's not everybody
So
else's
if you
fault.
choose that you don't want to have sex for whatever reason, then that shouldn't
No, definitely.
Shouldn't be out here
be
murdering
geared towards.
motherfuckers.
Let me shoot these bitches because they don't know, my nigga. That's
Y'all wouldn't give me no pussy anyway. Y'all all gotta die.
fuck.
All you bitches is dead.
It's definitely fucked up. Like, I'm definitely not
It'd
for
be different if the case was that they were playing, like if they were playing games and mindfuck games, no pun
Just writing
intended, then that's
chats,
different.
whatever, but not actually out
But
there
if, like,
murdering
there's-
bitches for no
Exactly.
goddamn reason.
But like on the less extreme side of it,
Okay.
like, cause it's I don't want it to be just like looked at as a bunch of murderous fucking virgins. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, 'cause they're not
I'm
all
technically
like
an
that.
incel to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to date right now.
But that's by
Like,
choice. That's
by
not,
choice.
but
That's voluntarily.
That's not exactly.
Because I involuntarily got heartbroken mad times and
Yeah,
got
but
sick of
that's-
women.
I mean,
You
that,
can't
that,
Like-
yeah, that part is involuntary, but the celibate part is voluntary. These crazy fucking bastards are saying that women are making them be celibate. Like they're held against their will for their cock not to come out. As if that could be a thing. And
No.
that's not actually a thing.
No.
You just can't get bitches. And you should say
That's
that.
that's the thing. They can't get
Come to
bitches,
terms with
and they're finding it even harder and harder to even if, like, for example, let's say you might get a chick, to actually keep one. Like, these girls are trading up, like, you know what I mean?
They've been
And-
looking in the wrong place.
Hold on, we got a clip from the rise of the incels because this is getting interesting. Let's get deeper. Hold on.
Story. When I thought about the idea for this video, I wondered how radically different this interaction was from what most 10-year-olds do now. And not just 10-year-olds, but people of all ages. It's clear a lot has changed in terms of dating and how we interact and form relationships in the past 15 years. With kids in single-digit ages having access to any information they could possibly desire at their fingertips, dating apps on the rise, and individuality becoming more realistic, the landscape of intimacy has morphed into something scary. The number of sexless men between 18 to 30 years old tripled from 2008 to 2018. And I can only imagine that it got much, much worse when the pandemic hit. With this has come the rise of the involuntary celibate movement, or incel for short. A group of men who are convinced that they cannot and will not be able to form a relationship with women ever due to all the problems brought upon by the modern dating market. How much of these men's assumptions are based on facts,
Again,
and
that
how
is
much of it is
voluntary.
men projecting their trauma as a way to cope with the fact that they're fat, lazy, and socially awkward? Today, I want to explore that question, the ways in which dating and marriage have changed, and what young men struggling with loneliness can do to improve their current situation so they don't end up in incel.
and then, like, when with that kind of language, you wonder why they get shot up.
I mean,
Like, you talk to these people like that,
and there's
and then
fat
you
dudes
want.
getting bitches all the time.
Yeah.
They're out there in the streets. I seen them at the store. There was a fat dude with bald ass hair. He just had a lot of money, so it covered up all those ugly features.
Yeah.
He had 2 girls with him
There's-
at the same time buying lotto tickets. So you full of shit. You can be fat and get bitches too. You don't have to be.
It's not about being fat or not, because it's all about that these women are fucking the same dudes. That's what it's really about. These women are fucking the same 15 dudes and ignoring the other 85, and the 85, some of these 85 are like, yo, what's up?
So
Because
you want them to fuck these 15 plus these 85?
No, what I'm saying is,
You gotta get 100%, baby. You can't
Like-
in a perfect world, there's a person for everybody. In a
Yes,
perfect world,
yes.
this isn't a perfect world.
Okay.
You have social media, you have the illusions that people.
But there needs to be more.
So,
content.
what
There
I'm
needs
s-
to be more content, like more content.
All right, can you play that video that I was talking about, that TikTok video?
Which one?
The last one I sent to the messenger group.
Oh, let me see. This one?
Yeah.
Just staying the fuck away from all of you because y'all are too fucking much. The
That's
men that
voluntary.
want relationships are staying away from relationships because we know how fucked up the dating is
Voluntary.
nowadays, and we're just deciding, you know what? We're clocking out. We're done. We're over it. We're sick of it. We're worth too much to be wasting our time and energy on people that ain't gonna appreciate us. We're the type of men that are gonna make you plan A and the only fucking plan we've got. But y'all got plan A, B, C's, D's, E's, F's, G's, all the way to fucking Z. And we're over it. We're done. Clocked out. Game over. Have a great day.
Again, voluntary. He even said it. He said we decided. That's not that.
That's
to be involuntary. It has to be forced.
Okay.
It's not forced. He's
So
making it
okay, so now you have two
happen.
groups of men then essentially. You have incels and volcels, voluntary celibate, that are saying fuck women. Isn't it time then to maybe hold a mirror to women and say, why are men two groups of men saying fuck y'all? No, of course not, because it's never on women to be fucking accountable.
You're always blaming the women.
I'm always blaming the women.
You are. Are you listening to yourself right now?
No, because I'm saying everyone has to be fucking accountable.
Okay, so
and if men have always been accountable to make enough money, to do all these things, just to have one woman for the rest of their lives that they're paying for and taking care of, and that's men's always been their role. Men's.
I could say that it's an equal thing. If relationships aren't working out, it's both parties that have to look at each
So
other.
why isn't it fair to say that female that he tried to get with had a traumatizing relationship that a man caused and made her not want to be? Why is it always women? Like I personally am a female and I don't have ulterior motives as to why I don't date people. Like you can't and it's not a forced thing. Like you can't force a female to date you. Like she don't want to date you. You're not her type. Maybe she was traumatized in a previous relationship. Like you can't. Your opinion is one sided, and that's
it may be, but until there are old-fashioned men out there who don't want to get with these new-fashioned women, and they're looking for old-fashioned women, and they can't find them, and they're saying, okay, well,
in a world that populates how many billion people, you can't find a female.
It's hard. Do you not understand that? As if you're a good-looking woman, as long as you have Snapchat, fucking TikTok, Instagram, you have access to mad fucking dick.
Why don't you get with an ugly female? Why does it have to be?
Because I'm gonna fucking cheat on her. What the fuck am I gonna set myself up for failure for?
First of all, you're a little bit too passionate about this topic. I want to take it a couple notches down. Like
speaking of shit not working,
right?
Katy Perry's eyeballs glitching. How do you guys feel about that? Did that like throw you off a little bit? She said that it was like a power or like a aesthetic like feature that just wasn't working or whatever, and it like malfunctioned on her. Do you believe that to be true, or do you think Katy Perry's a fucking robot? Like, what do you think? Westworld shit, was that like her body double? They just throwing Katy Perry's out there in the streets when she's like done too much cocaine or something? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like they just iRobot her ass.
If it's me, I'm gonna say it's the vaccine. But nah, that's a joke. Honestly, that just looks like some MK Ultra shit. Have you seen any other cases of MK Ultra? Like it's a common thing where presidents, celebrities, they'll just glitch and not be responding to the situation. So it'll be like a camera in their face asking them questions, and they'll just be like zoned out and, you know, like not all the way there or whatever the fuck. And then they'll just like, something will happen, like they'll hear a noise or like.
Yo, I think about what you're saying, that it's Biden in that ice cream truck. That is all I think about when you're talking. It's Biden, like.
Well, Biden's a pedophile, so when he hears that ice cream truck, he knows there's his target audience. So he's like, yo, it's dinner time. Fucking. Anyways, like. But, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's just weird. I don't know. Like, I think it's weird, but I don't think it's that important. But I think it's weird. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I don't know, because that it's just what tripped me out was that she knew how to fix it. Like her shit was glitching, and she was like, let me press this button, let me just reset.
She had like under skin like cosmetic that just malfunctioned on her.
What if that's not the real Katy Perry, or what if that's like a robot, like with Katy Perry's skin flesh on it, and it was like, oh shit, malfunction, click.
Could be like on
who knows.
Body stature type shit.
You know what I mean? It's a whole new world out there.
Speaking of Perry's not acting right, what's up with fucking Matthew Perry hating Keanu Reeves? Like, what the fuck Keanu Reeves do to you? This nigga's Neo.
He took all the best roles.
Don't get mad. And he doesn't even like, no disrespect to Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves. He's like one of the worst actual acting actors out there. Like, he literally plays this stupid confounded dub guy in most of his roles.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he does. It's the same Keanu.
Which one?
Keanu has. Alright, give me one deep Keanu movie. One.
Deep?
A deep character development. I mean,
A Walk to Remember?
On some Joaquin
He wasn't
Phoenix,
even on the Walk to Remember.
on some Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker type shit.
Yeah, he was in that
Give
movie.
me just
No.
one singular.
Ain't that love story?
Oh my god, like I'll never forget this movie. It was so touching to my heart.
Oh my
You
god,
can't.
the one with Sandra Bullock, the one where
Speed?
No,
The
no.
one without the name.
No, listen, it's called, oh my
Movie
god,
that
Lake House.
Okay.
Where she's like, and I don't know if she's in the present and he's in the in the past,
Right.
and they're sending letters to each other through the.
It was deep.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
You said touching to me, and
Oh,
it
okay.
made me. Yeah,
All right.
so
So you got one.
it made me okay,
Solid one, and he's been out how long in these streets?
No, let me think.
Denzel has like 15 that I could just drop off the top of the fucking mountain.
Let me think. But he doesn't play.
He was Neo. He doesn't have to be anyone else.
And that's fine. That is fine. But I mean, him as far as a character, he's almost like
He's never. I
he's
don't
never
think,
deep.
No, okay, but
He's
he
never
doesn't
deep,
play
bro.
stupid.
Lawrence Fishburne was deeper than him in The Matrix. He was never deep, bro.
No.
Never. It never happened. But anyway,
No, but-
Matthew Perry was never deeper than the other. So like, get off his nuts, bro. Don't get mad because you weren't Neo. Oh, like, all right, it's another Perry acting up.
Nah, well, the funny thing about in this case, right, is that he wrote this tell-all book. Like, and it's like he's been setting the
Did
internet.
he write a book about Keanu?
No, he wrote a book about himself, telling all these like about when he lost his virginity.
Like, nobody cares now.
Well, no, it's that he's been 18 months sober for the first time in his life. So like now that he's sober, now he's actually starting to remember all the beefs that he had, all the bitches he fucked, and all that shit. And now he wrote this
the fog. He's like, I remember. I fucking hate Keanu Reeves. Like,
well, yeah, because he had, you know,
but Keanu's
there was
always done
multiple
nice shit to
instances.
people. He's never done anything mean. Did he do something mean though?
I mean, what goes on behind the scenes, we don't know.
I mean, as far as
you know what I mean,
Keanu's a good dude.
But
Unless I've heard something different. I haven't heard nothing different.
I've always heard of him being a stand-up dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Matthew Perry sounds like a fucking hater. I don't know.
But if you're a stand-up dude in the middle of Hollywood, surrounded by not stand-up dudes who, that's what.
Fault. He still did better than Matthew did. If anything, Matthew should be taking some notes from Keanu.
Well, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Like,
he didn't get the roles like Keanu did. Keanu didn't have to say or do much. That's what I'm saying. His character development wasn't crazy deep. Like, he said a couple lines.
Oh,
he looked
shit.
a little confounded sometimes. He threw a couple punches.
have you seen the new show Reboot on Hulu?
No.
I think one of the characters is based off Matthew Perry. Because now that I remember, like, he's like a dude that's like recently sober, and he was like high the whole like first season or whatever. I mean, the couple seasons or whatever. The show in the show or whatever. But Matthew Perry, like he was high through all the Friends, fucked it up, and that's why he didn't get good roles. Like, and then, you know, he can't be mad now that he's finally fucking sober for the first time in like 50 years and go, oh, well, it's everyone else's fault. Or like, I mean, like the shit that he's divulging in this book, like he's talking about married women he's fucked. Like he's putting a lot of people's shit out there. You know what I'm saying? He's stirring the pot. And it's like,
a dick move.
It absolutely is.
I agree, it's a dick move.
Like now you want to get fucking sober and start
the world,
like get the
because you're clear thinking now. It's crazy.
But you know, it's a fucked up thing to say that he had wished that, you know, because Keanu was friends with River Phoenix, and he had said that why was River Phoenix dead and not Keanu? You know what I'm saying? Like
that's some.
Like,
speaking of fucking putting things out there and letting them grow, Megan Fox trying to tell MJ can't get her pregnant. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that one?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they haven't done so already.
I mean, you know, they're doing a deed. You know.
No, but I'm saying like they're fucking weird. Like they drink each other's blood and shit like that, and fucking all that weird like Illuminati shit. So I'm surprised a kid wasn't already on the table. You know what I mean?
The kid was probably on the table
at some point.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Whose kid it was?
I don't know whose kid it was.
It might have been one of those.
It isn't anymore. You know?
What's that shipping company that was supposedly trafficking kids? Fuck. Wayfair, whatever the fuck. One of them Wayfair couches.
But that's not a shipping company. That's
whatever they are. A fucking virtual IKEA with kids, I guess. Right. But like, I don't know. They're some weirdos. But if you want to have a kid, go ahead.
No.
It's gonna definitely be hard with a kid.
Poor kid. No.
Kid's gonna have a hard.
You know how many Hollywood weirdo kids are out there? You got Jaden Prince. I mean, Jaden Smith and fucking Willow Smith. Like,
okay. No.
The fuck out of here.
Speaking of weird kids that quit after hard times, this girl quit after getting a 12-hour shift on her first day.
I mean, you know how many 12-hour shifts I did?
12-hour
9
shifts
months
pregnant, suck, but you gotta
12-hour shifts
work in.
plus.
Yeah, you gotta put that work in.
You say that shit like with a badge of pride, like you was supposed to be pulling 12-hour shifts while pregnant.
You're supposed to be, but like 12 hours.
It's not that intense, bro. You gotta have those.
It is. Well, I mean, there needs to be a little bit more information as far as
on your first
old.
day.
No, because I mean, if it's your first day and you're 18 years old, then yes, that's kind of rough as a first job.
I mean,
to be put in.
And then you would just
shift.
I'm not trying to do 12 hours now.
It's not something that you go.
I do 11s, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. This is a plantation. Like,
I feel like the world's a little soft because kids used to grow like at 13 be working 18-hour shifts in coal mines.
I mean, that was the old world.
But now they're like, well, we're 18. They're like, you're a bunch of bitches.
And we're saying, like, poor child, like, she didn't get paid. That's not free labor. The bitches getting paid. It's not like you're going
to get paid for the work you do, but people do act like little bitches about the work they have to do sometimes.
Nah, man, you should never like introduce somebody into a 12-hour shift.
No,
like that's just like
you're not. For me, it's like that 12-hour shift of hell or whatever, that shitty time, doesn't equate to all the time already that I'm invested trying to get this job. Like, if you feel like that wasn't worth it, then you shouldn't have went for the job in the first place. That's the way I feel. You bring up your great, hey, I'm not doing another 12-hour shift. This shit is crazy. Or, you know, we got to have some type of boundaries around us. But I already done invested time doing the orientation.
I'm saying, what happened to a normal 8-hour work shift?
That's what it should be. I don't disagree.
So for somebody to come in on their first day,
there
I mean, like,
there needs to be more information. Like, did something happen that she was required to work that 12-hour shift when she scheduled that 12-hour shift?
I mean,
did she know she had to work it, or that there was a provision that she might have to work?
Yeah, something happened. Maybe something happened.
From what I read the article, she didn't know it was going to be a 12-hour shift. She came into it, and then they told her,
well, that's different.
You know what I mean? Like, but That's why she was ready to quit, because she didn't know that it was gonna.
That's not a reason to quit.
Hell yeah, like that's the. Hell yeah, yo! Like if on my first day you telling me I'm finna work 12 hours, fuck this job. Like that's just.
I don't know. I guess you do that.
Unless like literally, maybe if you signed up for Amazon, like, cause you know that's a plantation, but it's a high paying plantation. So you're like, you know what? I'm gonna trade off getting.
Who's to say that wasn't a high paying?
It may. Clearly she was not, because she was like, I'm out.
Nigga, somebody who has responsibility, somebody who has bills to pay, take that on the chin and keep it moving. Like 12 hours, all right. Like he said, let them know next time. Hey, I can't work a 12-hour shift, but I don't feel like that's enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna quit. I got bills to pay, but I had to pay. I had to work a 12-hour shift. No.
We're saying that like we're not in the biggest economic loss. Like right now, people are not working. They are actively choosing not to go to fucking work. So then on top of millions and millions of people choosing actively not to go to work, when you have people who choose to come, maybe don't bombard them with 12-hour shifts.
Again, like, I feel like
otherwise, you're just going to continue, end up more staff shortages everywhere. That's all I'm saying. Like,
but you gotta look at it from a company's perspective right now. Like you're saying, there's people that are actively not wanting to work. How are they gonna run a business when they don't have people that are working shifts? Like, it needs to be to be addressed when that person is hired. Like, you can't just, like you say, bombard that person with a 12-hour shift. But like, we have to be realistic as a business owner. If you don't have people, somebody has to fill those hours. Somebody has to work those hours. You
Like for example, right? Like in my job, I'm not gonna get too much in details because I have a fucking boss who be stalking me online. But when, for example, but anyways, right? Like at my job, I'm a manager. I've been doing it long enough. I hate 11-hour shifts. I can do it. I hate it, but I can put off. Why? Because I've been doing it long enough that I can handle it. You know what I'm saying? I know what to do and how to limit myself. I mean, like when to take breaks. So I know that, like, hey, I'm at a certain point. Just take that break. You know what I'm saying? Now, for example, the new guy that they got for the weekends, right? That dude today is going to be his first day, right? Probably doing just a regular 8-hour, not 11, just 8 hours of that. I don't even think he can handle 8. Imagine trying to get 11.
See, but that's
you know what I'm saying?
That's not a good thing.
Well, the thing is that most people just aren't working, or aren't that good at work.
Like, apply and get hired and are hungry for those hours and are hungry for that money.
Those are far and few.
Right? They don't exist anymore.
You know, those are illegals. Because those are the only, and then not to be racist, but those are the only motherfuckers working them hours. At work right now are illegal immigrants. Like, those people are putting 50 hours a weekend. Yeah.
Because I remember when Lewis would work, like, when he first started working, and he was 16 when he first started working. He would work a closing shift, go to another store, work a morning shift, come back to our store, work another close, like that. And that was constant. And how many hours in a day did you rest? Like, that's
always one thing I admired about L too. Like, I always said, like, that motherfucker's a hard worker, much more harder worker than I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say that I'm lazy, because it's not that I'm lazy, but he's always had that ability to just put his head down and just work like 20-hour shifts like it's nothing.
And it's not to say that it's okay that, again, back to this person who worked a 12-hour shift, it's not, like, again, like, I feel like that's something that she needs to work her 12-hour shift, because, again, this is a job that's going to potentially pay your bills, but address it. And, like, if she feels like she can't handle a 12-hour shift, hey, I can only work so many hours, like, but it's not, to me, that's not reason enough to quit. Like, a reason enough would be for if there was some sort of harassment or something like that, but 12-hour shit, that to me is not.
I feel you, but like I've seen people quit in like 2-3 days.
That's not a good thing, though.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, places are being, like, the turnovers is crazy now. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just like, you know what? I'm not gonna put in the time anymore. Like before, people would put in a certain amount of time and be like, yeah, I don't like this job. This shit ain't for me. Now people are just like, you got a day to convince me that this is what I'm finna do for the rest of this week. Like, and if not,
when did that start becoming a thing that the company has to?
The pandemic.
It's the other way around.
Nah,
like they have to prove to the company. That
before, but the thing is that now that the company is the one that's in shortage and in need of workers, now it's on the companies to prove themselves that they're a good place to work for. If not, they're not going to have people, and that's just. And honestly, I'm proud of that because it's a reverse of fucking capitalism. It's a reverse of corporate structure.
It's just a quasi-reverse, though. It's not actually a reverse because we still need the jobs. We still need the employment.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to get to the point where the market balances out and the employers are going to be like, we're going to be selective on who we have. It'll be a bunch of people on unemployment for the unskilled laborers, the people that aren't good at the jobs, that don't show up to work. Like, they're going to get fucked. Everybody else is going to work hard around them to keep whatever image of the company sustainable that they want, but it just basically puts the work off to the people that actually show up to work, so it fucks them in the long run because they're ending up working harder either way, whether or not, because they're not going to quit.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of people that don't know how to fucking quit, Tom Brady finally gets divorced from his supermodel wife, Gisele, who's worth more money than he is. And even more now, with him.
I don't think so. I think he about to be worth more than shit. Yeah, because she made more than him, so she should be worried.
Pay that alimony?
Shit.
You think so?
That's usually how it works. The one that makes the most amount of money uses the one that ends up paying.
He's an idiot for going back. I don't know why he'd go back. I'd just chill. He already did it.
I would have been retired, but then I would have never been Tom Brady. Like, realistically, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what drives him. That's like Jordan. Like those are freak of natures that you just can't duplicate because how their mind works and the drive that takes them to those places is beyond human measures.
Why be in a relationship? Why be in a committed to have kids?
Because
have a wife. Like
you
want your cake and you want to eat it too, and that's not fair.
What's wrong with wanting to have a family and still wanting to be the greatest player of all time?
But that's selfish. It's selfish on her. She had to put her shit on hold to take care of his kids. He's never around.
But I mean, that was a choice, wasn't it, though?
Huh?
That was a choice, though, wasn't it?
I mean, he made a choice, too,
but
and she divorced his ass. That's what happened.
I'm sure he told her, hey, honey, this is only going to be for X. And that's probably what happened.
Probably every year. Every year, he's probably not. One more year and I'm done. And she was like, yeah, all right, one more year and we good. Next year, one more year and I'm done.
It was a wrap. She was mad from the jump when he said he was coming back. Like, he missed practice and everything because he was supposed to not come back with his fucking old ass. He should have.
And even if he doesn't want to have a commitment with her, his kids, he's missing out on his kids' most vital, most important milestones in their lives.
But if you're about to possibly be an NFL owner of a team, you got a stadium you can pass them off to your kids.
My nigga, that sounds so fucking cold.
It is.
Like, hey, you won't have my love. You won't have these advice.
But you gonna have a motherfucking stadium, bitch.
Yeah.
That's not
1,500 seats.
Listen, I'm not saying it's right. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that drive to get to that's why I'm not a millionaire. If I would have had the drive to sacrifice those things, I'd have been a successful rapper probably, or even a successful podcaster. But I didn't have the drive to sacrifice those things. I wanted to have my cake and eat it too. He wanted to be the greatest player and have a family. I don't think
there is anything wrong with having that drive and wanting to be the best. But my nigga, you gotta know when it's
time.
Yeah, you gotta know.
No, definitely, and especially being a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like with all the CTE that like Muhammad Ali, like, or even Mike Tyson now. Mike Tyson, that motherfucker collapsed at an airport or something not too long ago. Like, the brain can only take so much, and then the older you get, and that's when it really starts to show all that wear and tear. So me, I'd have been out. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been out 3 Super Bowl rings ago. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, when you're
at this point, it's not even out of necessity. Them
No.
niggas are set for
they're good.
life.
They don't
Yeah.
For life. Now to me is more of like my ego, and that's to me that's all that could be, because you don't need the money. Both of them fucking set for life. Your kids are set for life. Like, they don't.
But there's only one Tom Brady. That's the thing. Like, Like when you want to be a legacy act, like when you but the thing is, like, you can replace her with another supermodel, a younger one at that. You know what I mean? Like,
mother of your kids and shit.
Can't replace
bro,
kids.
Can't replace kids.
You can make more. You know what I'm saying?
That's horrible.
Listen,
that's a horrible thing to say. Oh my God.
It is, but people have done. People did it voluntarily, left, got milk, and started a new family. That, let alone if you're Tom Brady in fucking Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's okay, but.
Speaking of old shit that people can't let go.
That'd be ready.
Neil Patrick Harris, nigga. Neil Patrick Harris talk about Nick Jonas. What do you think? NPH versus NJ.
I'm gonna keep those comments to myself.
No, I wouldn't.
You and I already had this.
No, I know, and that's exactly. I was actually going to cut it out of the list, but then I was like, I don't want us to run from serious conversations. So that's what the purpose.
What do you say?
That he had a crush on Nick Jonas or something.
He was like a teen, 16. It didn't even say how old he was. It said he was
a teen, like let's say 16 to 18.
No.
I don't, because
he could be from anywhere from 13,
19,
13 to 19. 13 to 19.
But when he was when the comments were made at the time, Nick, he was 21. He was 21 at the time. 21. So let's say it was a couple years ago, but let's say a couple years before that. Let's say again, I'm gonna give him the freedom of the benefit of the doubt and say, let's say 16 to 18 range.
The benefit of the doubt, no, my nigga. It says the teens. From 13 to 19. We're going to keep it like that.
Was he performing? Was he famous at 13? I don't know. I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Jonas Brothers.
I do. He was. He was, and he had shows. No, but that it doesn't matter how famous he was. That's not okay.
I'm not surprised that somebody that's known as being like a sex symbol is going to be observed in a weird light. Other than
that doesn't make it okay.
I didn't say it okay.
No, I'm not saying.
No. But
sociological norm to fantasize or sexualize people.
Disney and Nickelodeon literally did it with Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, fucking Hillary Duff, fucking like the list goes on.
It does happen. It happens all the time. Somebody, for instance, would be 14. You'll think they're 14 and they're not, or you'll think they're 18 and they're not. Like they're much younger.
And I get that.
Shit, the girl from Euphoria. Maddie, she got caught with making out with someone that was underage or some shit like that.
And I get that, but as a mom of a kid, like
it's not cool. It's not okay. But I'm saying that's what.
No, and I get that it's something that's plausible, something that could happen. I don't think it's okay.
I don't think it's okay.
And even if that was something that he felt some sort of way and he thought he was. I don't think that's something you should be.
Shit, do you remember when?
All right. Let me give you a very good example. Selena Gomez. She looks like a teenager. She's always looked like a fucking teenager. But people sexualize her all the time.
She got big titties though. That's probably why.
She looks like a kid in the face.
But
she looks like a kid, bro. Like, I don't even know when she'll look old enough for me to look at her and be like, all right, she looks like a woman now. Like she's still
Have you seen her now?
Teenager. I've seen her face.
She still looks like a kid.
She looks like
now?
a kid, bro.
Now?
Her face.
Look at her face.
She looks like a child.
All right. We're going to agree to disagree.
From her inception of when she began till now, people have always.
Yeah, I never really took it seriously until now. Like, I've seen some videos of her now, and I'm like.
But you're looking at whole bodies. I'm talking about her face. Her face looks the same way it looked at in what is it, Wizards of Waverly Place.
She's looks like a child, bro.
It looks pretty much the same as in when she was in Barney. Except it's a little bit chunkier, a little bit more mature, but she looks exactly the same.
She looks like a kid, bro.
She looks like a kid.
She looks like a kid.
She does.
It's weird that people are attracted to people that look like kids in the first place.
Okay, but let's.
But I do understand why people would do that because of the way that they portray these same artists when they're coming up, how they portray them. And
that's Hollywood. Hollywood, the motherfuckers who traffic children and have been fucking kids for the longest. We're surprised that they're having crushes. That's how I'm looking at it, though.
Kids don't make these choices; their parents do. So it's not okay for even though if I, as a parent, make a decision and say, "Hey, Isaiah, I'm gonna put you in this horrible situation where these people are gonna sexualize you you're 13, but they're still gonna, you know, it's not the kid's fault. And you're making it seem like, first of all, the kid made the decision to be in the position where that could happen. And even if the kid made that conscious decision, like, they're still kids, Jose. Like, he was, regardless of where in the teens he fell, he's a kid. Like, he was
understandable, but again, it's so common. And I like even Twilight. Remember when Twilight came out and Taylor Lautner was running around half naked as a fucking werewolf?
I don't think
and all the women, grown ass women, that were sitting there lusting after this little kid who was fucking.
And I don't disagree with the fact that it happens. I do not disagree. I'm not saying that's not the case. I just don't think it's okay.
Again,
I know I'm not naive enough to believe that we don't live in a society where shit, especially in Hollywood, that shit doesn't happen. I've seen it. Even Zendaya's till the other day, she was a little girl, and they still at that age sexualized her. I get that. I understand it. I comprehend that. I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay that I feel like you as a person, as a grown, he was a grown man, regardless of how old Nick Jonas was. Neil Patrick was a grown ass man. You could control your impulses and how, like, regardless of what you say. I don't care what you say about that men are guided by. He's a grown ass man. He was a kid. Like, for you to be like, hey, I was attracted. No, my nigga, that's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
So then, should men not, like, for example, right? Should men lie about these things and not admit these?
I mean,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still a man. As a man, I navigate the world by looking at women and deciding who I want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't see ages on women unless they're below a certain age. Now, of course, certain girls, they look like a certain age.
Have you ever seen Nick Jonas
at between 16?
Even now, he's like,
I don't know,
to be
because
like 27.
again,
you look at his face, he looks like a kid.
Nick Jonas wouldn't be my type. So for me, like, you know what I mean? Like, now remember, we were in that conversation that we had off camera, right? We talked about the whole Billie Eilish thing. It happened to Billie Eilish. When Billie Eilish was 17, her swimsuit photos came out, right? People saw that she had big titties and they were like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Can't wait for her to turn 18. Can't wait for, and that was wrong.
Can you imagine even Billie Eilish? She said it in a lot of her interviews. She said it in a lot of her interviews. I wear baggy clothes because of XYZ. Can you imagine living in a world where you have to wear specific clothes? But
do you see what she looks like now? And how she sexualizes herself now?
I don't even
you know what I'm saying?
Now,
like, so
right now, she just recently did a concert for the song, the new James Bond movie, where she won like an award for it. You look at her clothes, that bitch is wearing black clothes, baggy as shit. You can't see her frame. You can't see shit. And like, it's not fair that
the new Billie Eilish ain't doing that though.
That was just recent.
No, I'm saying I'm seeing videos of her on TikTok, bent the fuck over, throwing that ass back in some tight ass shorts.
But like the fact that she would have to change the way she's like, what, 21? She should be able to. Again, I'm a mom, so my opinion is a little, but like, she should be allowed to dress however the fuck she wants. But the fact that she feels like she needs to dress a specific way so people aren't thirsting over her, or people aren't like
I'm sorry, guys like titties and ass. Like, if it's out in the open and you look like you're above age, niggas is gonna give you attention.
We're just gonna have to
I'm sorry.
disagree.
I'm not saying that it's okay, my nigga.
And neither am I.
What I'm saying is that I understand a man's and how they look at the world, and when they see women who look a certain way, because they do not immediately identify her age, because you can't see age on people, they just see body parts, big titties and fat asses and thick thighs, and they go, God damn, I want to fuck. And they, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my nigga, okay, so bringing it back to Neil, he knew how old Nick Jonas was when he had those. It's not like,
well, I mean,
like
and again,
like
so to give it full context, and we should read the article, word verbatim by verbatim and see exactly what he said, because I don't remember him saying
in the article that you showed me that you sent us, it said that he was in his teens.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, my nigga.
And it also said in the article.
You know how famous? Like, you'd have to be really stupid to not know how Nick Jonas, how old he was at the time. So, like, to sit here and
again,
have to agree to this.
We're not disagreeing on really shit. We're really disagreeing on is how men act and how they and what they're attracted to and how they control those reactions, right? But on the main principle, we don't really disagree. I'm not saying that if he would have tried to fuck Nick Jonas or DM'd him or some shit, I'd be like, yo, bro, you a creep. You 50, he's 16, 17, 18.
I mean,
don't do that.
The comment is kind of creepy, though.
It is.
But
basically his grandkid's age.
I mean, not at the time. Not at the time, because Neil is like 50 now. And that happened, and Nick is, he was in like his late 30s. But still, to me, again, I have a kid. Like, to me, if anybody would make a comment to me saying that they found Isaiah attractive in his teen years, I would be like, my nigga, step the fuck back.
You remember when I was at Burger King at 15?
My nigga, but that doesn't make it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't in the limelight. I didn't have a camera in front of me. This is pre-social media. Like, there was no. But what I'm saying is, though, at 15, before social media, before I put myself on camera and shit, I had grown men trying to fuck me.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? And women.
It's more to my point. It's
like,
not okay.
But what I'm saying is, that existed.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'm
like
to the facts.
And
I know it does.
But what I'm saying is that when you market yourself a certain way, you know what I'm saying?
You should be
like he may not have intended to have Neil Patrick Ferris be attracted to him.
But to say that, like, that's you. Then you need to do your research. Nick Jonas, first of all, the whole group was very, very loud about the fact that they were Christian. So he's not like a.
I remember that they had the rings. Yeah.
He wasn't like a Taylor Lautner who was in movies showing his chest.
Somebody would break his security ring.
They weren't even putting themselves out there. They were not putting themselves out there in a specific way, like you're saying. They were very, like I said.
That sounds like a Catholic's wet dream.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that. But
clearly,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like how, like, me, like, when I go to church, like, the few times I go to church now with mom, right? Yeah. I'll see some baddie in a falda, and I'll be like, I can't look that way. Because if I look that way, I'm gonna see that ass in that skirt, and even though I'm in fucking church, you know what I'm saying? And there should be some boundaries there. My male gaze will still fuck me up in church. Even in church.
It's different. Like, I feel like it's different. Like, if people put themselves in situations, like you say, like, even that girl from Euphoria, that Maddie girl, or whatever her name is, she dresses very provocatively. Then that would, I'd be like, well, I still don't think it's okay, but I can see. But, like, kids like that are very loud about them being Christian, and they're not putting themselves out, like, taking off their shirts. They're not. Like, to me, I don't care how you bring it around. To me, it's not okay. And that nigga got kids. Like, my nigga, you have kids that are soon gonna be that age. Like, it's it's not okay.
Speaking of slimy things going into people's bodies, we got the shape-shifting slime designed to enter the human body, and I don't know how to feel about this. It sounds like cyberpunk meets what the fuck was that movie with the shit with Eddie Murphy? You know what I'm talking about?
Osmosis Jones?
No.
What is it? Faculty?
No, it's like Flubber. No, that was Robin Williams. Flubber, when he was like the little flub shit was flying around. It was like Jello. Anyway, it was this gelatinous goo that was like moving around and shit. I forgot who the fuck made the movie. I thought it was it might have been not Martin Lawrence. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy made this movie called Flubber. Anyway, somebody did. It was a great movie, but either way, there was a slime that moved around. Apparently, they made this slime that's designed to move around the human body, I guess to improve it in some way, shape, or form. Would you get the slime?
No.
Why?
I won't get the vaccine. You think I'm gonna get a goddamn slime? One, that just look like some hentai. Like, and if you ain't never seen hentai, there's a lot of tentacly stuff in it.
What if you get the goo, right? And then you can type like 250 words a minute and like have sex for 50 hours and shit.
No,
you wouldn't get the goo then?
I'm like, I am
like Usain Bolt if you got the goo.
No, I am like, I love cyberpunk, but I'm completely against transhumanism. Like, I am not about like combining mankind with technology.
You won't get the goo?
No, I will not get the goo. Like, I just do normal surgery. Wherever if you got open me up my stomach, you know what I mean? Slice me up, but you're not finna put some slime in my butt that's gonna crawl through my body and then fix me.
Body enhancements all the time. It's not an abnormal thing.
Yeah, but that type of enhancement is.
What if you got the goo and then you have like an IQ of 200?
No, I'm good. I stay stupid.
I's dumb.
You wouldn't take the goo?
No.
Oh, man.
That's to me, like, we live in a world where that could be literally anything. That could be a tractor.
What if the goo was legit? Like, legit?
What if it was made by Moderna? Like, I don't trust these niggas.
My nigga, we were born to die. Not to be, no.
You might get the goo and live forever. You never know.
I don't want to live forever. I'm good.
They gonna work in your brain and shit. Like, yeah.
No.
Year 2030.
No, I'm good.
Saying?
Would you take the goo?
I don't know. If the goo, like, maybe fly like Superman and punch holes through, like, big vault doors, I'd probably take the goo. I don't know about y'all.
But the only way to take it would be, like, anally?
No. Why you gotta feel like that?
I'm saying it's goo. Like, I'm saying those are the conditions. Terms of agreement. Fuck
right there.
You get some superpowers, but the only way you get it is the slime got crawled through your butt.
Nah, we're not going alien search.
Oh, so you gonna swallow?
Nah. You could do it intravenously, I'm sure. If the goo can get in your body and do the guy you can do it through the veins.
Nah, it's got to go through the oral forces, either through the mouth or rectally. You pick.
Man, look. Speaking of fucking genitals, Dad spent over $1 million to save his son's nuts. I would have just made another son. I mean, that would have been a more efficient way of doing it.
Nah.
You don't know that your son's gonna have kids.
There has to be a better way.
If your kid's losing his nuts already before he has a kid, your kid's probably gonna lose his nuts again.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like that's a decision that needs to be made between both parents.
I don't know how you can save the nuts though.
What do you mean?
What are you saving? What are you spending?
Well,
like, how are you recreating the?
No, it's like
he's fighting a court case, like where the court is essentially ordering him to treat his son as a girl, and use girl pronouns and all that shit, and they're setting them up. Yeah, they're setting the child up to essentially get us the snip the
tip.
Yeah, gender reassignment surgery.
Invert the girt.
So, you know what I mean? Like, he's spending all this money trying to fight this court case, and
he's trying to do the upside down in his genitals.
Yeah.
In the inside out now.
Any more trans jokes you going off?
The in and out, baby.
But
toss the salad.
It's fucked up because it's like, as I'm not a father, right? I'm just a man. Yeah. My attachment to my dick is out this world. Like, that's not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
some people they want to chop it up. Like
no. Some people do, right? Yeah. Once you get to a certain age, though, you get to, like, for example, right? 18-year-old kids are. I mean, you gotta be 18 to smoke cigarettes.
You gotta be 21 to buy a handgun.
You gotta be 21 to buy a handgun, 21 to buy alcohol. Yep. They say that we shouldn't take drugs until we're 25.
21 to buy cigarettes now too.
21 to buy cigarettes. All right, my apology. Yeah. They say that you shouldn't take drugs before 25 because your brain is still developing and it isn't fully developed, right? So why the fuck then is it okay to mutilate kids, give them hormone therapies and all this other shit before their brain's fully developed?
And how old is this kid?
This kid was like, I want to say 12.
Do you know how many times Isaiah changes who he likes as a character, who he wants to be when he grows up, what he like. Do you know how many times that little nigga has changed like his perspective on things to let a 12-year-old make a decision? And I don't even think it's him making a decision. To be honest,
no, he's not. It's the mother. You know, the
society. He's too young to make that.
Way too young.
But that other video, I don't know if I sent it to the messenger group, but the one about the kid where they brought him onto the stage and the mother and they asked the kid to say that he was, and he refused and handed it back to his mom, and the mom announced that.
I say this bullshit. Fuck you guys.
It's like there's that. There is definitely mothers out there forcing their sons to be women.
When they're like the father is legally in this child's life to receive any organs, to have any crazy surgery, you need the permission of both parents. Like literally, like both parents have to sign on it. So how is it that this mother can go to a court decide without the father actually being like okay with it?
Because trans rights are the most important rights in America.
God, and they don't care about fathers' rights.
More important than black people's rights, more important than any other rights of any race, of any other. Right now, the trans got it. And then below them, it's the gays. You know what I'm saying? Like, so right now they run shit. And if the mother decides, hey, yo, this is what I want for my kid, regardless of what he wants.
It shouldn't be the mom, it should be the kid.
No, clearly it should be the kid, if anything, at a certain age when he's old enough to, or she is old enough to, but that's not how it works nowadays. And then there's, I don't think
that they might want those things, and they might have grown to be 18 or 21, whatever, and then made those choices. I don't know. I know
5-year-olds though. Like 5-year-olds aren't thinking about sexuality. They're not supposed to.
That was like gay, and she was like very much a girl that was gay, and then like she was of age, and I knew her as one thing, and one day, and then the next day she was a different person. She was a man. She had a beard. She took hormones, and she was an adult beforehand, and then she was a he. You know, she transitioned. And there was nothing wrong with that because she was of age and able to do it, able to make all those conscious decisions. She liked girls before, she liked girls after, so that didn't change. She felt more akin to that gender, and she went that way. But I feel like you should do that when you're of age and you're able to make that conscious decision, and then nobody frowns upon it, just like anything else. But I think kids shouldn't choose to change their sexes, just like they shouldn't choose to like have a fucking AR, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or their fucking food. Like, I'm not letting my kid pick their food. Like, you're gonna eat what's on the table.
They don't choose drug use that they, you know, like.
They don't choose going to school.
Yeah.
They don't choose a lot of things. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
kids, and we're responsible for them. So I feel like if we're responsible for them in that aspect, we should be responsible for them up to, you know, when they're not kids anymore. You know, but fuck, man.
Like he shouldn't have to stand here and spend millions of dollars.
And the thing is that what people don't understand is that there's a lot of people, right, that on the trans activist community, whether they're trans themselves or they're not, that are pushing for these kids to be trans so that they can fuck them themselves. Like and no, listen, I can. Or if I was to use my phone to record, I would pull up the video. There's a New York trans activist in New York that just got arrested yesterday, trying to fuck a kid, and he was pushing for kids to be trans activists. There was one in Hawaii, a teacher in Hawaii, who was loud ass trans activist. Nah, free the kids. Got caught with mad child porn trying to fuck kids. There are a lot of them, and they're using this whole gay rights movement as a banner to hide the fact that they're trying to fuck those kids. Like, and until those people get exposed and put on front center, people are going to continue to mutilate these kids because they're going to think, oh, it's free rights and all that. And
because, I mean, statistics show that even adults, when they make these informed decisions to, you know, they commit suicide, they get depressed. Like, that's not, and they're adults, they're grown, they're informed about they have to go to the psychologist. Like, they make these informed decisions, and they still suffer repercussions. Can you imagine a 12-year-old, to me, being traumatized? Because that has to be traumatizing. That's part of your body.
Yeah. No, again, my attachment to my member is like it's my identity as a man. Like, and
they don't identify as like.
No, but what I'm saying is, if that we know of, because there are plenty of them that are influenced, you know what I mean, by the mother, right? Fucking my attachment to it. I mean, and I'm sure women probably feel a certain attachment to their own parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now there's like, for example, certain cases where I'm not gonna get into the specifics, but let's say there is childhood trauma involved, like, you know, childhood rape or molestations or stuff like that, where the person tries to become the different sex to reject that identity of themselves because they got, you know, traumatized. So they're like, all right, well, I don't want to be identified as this so that this doesn't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some of that, you know what I mean? Like, and it's, the thing is that they want to paint it with, you know, one broad, you know, brush and just make it one thing when it's not. And you know, even like J.K. Rowling, she faced, the bitch created the Harry Potter universe, one of the greatest work of arts to ever exist. And the only thing she said was, trans women are not real women, are not women. And everyone turned their back on her. Even fucking the guy who played Harry Potter himself said, oh, she's transphobic, this and this and this. Bitch had no hatred for them. Had a gay principal in her fucking, in her wizard school. The only thing she said was that trans women are not the same as a biological woman. And now all of a sudden she's fucking transphobic. When you can do that to a woman like that, you can make anybody shut the fuck up when it comes to this trans shit. Because as long as you could just throw that fucking label out, people, no, I don't want that shit. I don't, oh, I'll call your employer, or I'll do this, or like, people will hit up your college and try to get you kicked out of college. Like, the levels that people will take it to make you kneel to what the fuck their agenda is crazy. But that's why I always wanted something like this to exist, because this was always going to be a counter to that culture. And we were going to be real as fuck and say some real shit regardless of anything else. Like, and if no one else took that responsibility, then it would be me. I would take the responsibility of always being fucking honest and just saying what I really felt like, even if it wasn't popular to what everyone else was fucking talking about. But sometimes shit gotta be said.
For real.
Like,
speaking of being real and talking about things we have today that we might not have tomorrow, the U.S. is running out of diesel, which is going to be really shitty to happen, especially right before the holiday season. All the trucks bringing in all the products and things of that nature, and all the other shit we need with diesel. And diesel is crazy fucking expensive right now. It's like $5.25 a gallon. You're getting raped in the asshole when you get some diesel. You get 25 gallons of diesel, that's $100 up the ass that you spending off rip.
Supply and demand.
Anywhere where you go. And that's just to bring our shit in. So if you're wondering why shit's costing so much, you gotta get with that dude that's flossing with those fucking $50,000 Cuban links and shit that are, you know, just getting that oil money.
I thought you was gonna say that guy is flossing like little boy pubes.
Oh,
Biden. Biden controlling the gas prices.
He just sniffs him. He doesn't floss. That's the other dude playing with his son's pubes over there. Oh man. So what do you think about that? You think we're gonna actually run out of diesel, or?
Yes. But here's the thing, right? I besides Biden being a creepy pedophile, right? I almost kind of feel bad for him, right? Because I feel like they set him up for failure. I feel like they chose his presidency to be the time where they was gonna just ruin America completely, destroy it with pandemics, fucking gas prices being astronomical, fucking just global World War III, fucking all this shit that it had to happen on Biden's watch. But it could only happen because the president's the face of America, right? So if you when it's Trump, it was this, you know, loud fucking redneck that essentially was like, shit, I love America. What you trying to do, boys? I'll go to war for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, But now that it's Biden, you got this sleepy old dude that only responds to ice cream trucks. Like, that's the face of the country. Like, no wonder the world is falling off. Like, you have everything breaking apart. Like, fucking, and even like, it's just, the levels to this shit, like, you never used to see stuff like this happen consecutively. Like, you would have, like, for example, a presidency would have a few bad notes. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe like with Clinton, it was like his
little dick sucking here. Yeah.
Well, not just that, but like all the black people he threw in prison and shit for drugs and stuff.
Crime,
you know what I mean? Like George Bush, Iraq War, fucking Guantanamo Bay, fucking you know, just minor shit, right? Like, not minor shit, but like 9/11, but fucking just not back to back. You know, the carnage was spread out, right? With Biden, it's just like every week. Like, it's just like everything is about to fall down. Like, every week, like, can somebody fix this? Like, and it's just like when Biden is the face of the presidency, nothing's gonna get fixed because this is clearly all orchestrated. Like, this ain't supposed to. How are we supposed to run out of fucking diesel if, like?
It doesn't sound like a very organized country to me at all. I mean, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
But I feel like they're just doing this to push this war with Russia. Like, because they're gonna be like, oh, they got diesel in Russia. Like, y'all trying to go to Russia? The Russians need freedom. Like,
gotta liberate the Russians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's
the Ukrainians, really, but I don't know. That's weird, man. But speaking of weird shit, Kanye West with the Skechers, home of the cheapest sneaker, try to push, I guess pushes his Yeezys, but they can't be Yeezys. So I would say that they'll probably be Weezys, and that'll be the smart move for him. He just changed the name, some other shit, sell it to another company, but nobody wants to fuck with him right now. So he got kicked out of Skechers.
I think he was trolling.
I didn't know Skechers had like an actual warehouse. I thought they were like outsourced by now. Because they only put their shit in the like Payless, right?
I don't know. Who buys Skechers?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Who has shoes?
It used to be the S, nigga. It used to be the S. I don't know.
I don't know, but for example, if you're just gonna go on an anti-Semitic rant, maybe the best place to go prop your shoes up isn't at a company owned by a Jew. Like,
I mean, you're gonna have to have a hard time trying to find one.
Skechers kind of sounds like a Jewish-owned company, like Skechers. Like, that sounds like something that like people like wore during the Holocaust to run away from the Germans. Get them Skechers on board.
Speaking of slavery, we saw an old video of Charlamagne talking about the Jews. Again, not in a derogatory context, but definitely agreeing with a lot of what Kanye West was saying. He didn't go as far as to say it all the way. As you can tell, like, he felt off-put by, like, saying it all the way.
But that was a 9-year-old interview. This wasn't like this happened because of Kanye. This is some old.
Something happened prior. He was acknowledging what Kanye is saying right now and why he got,
You want to play the clip?
Locked. Yeah, let me play the clip real quick. Let's get clipped up real quick. Hold on 1 second. Recalculating.
And I'll talk over why you do that, but it's going back to this whole Kanye thing and the Jews, it's unfortunate that it got to this point, right? Because, like, you have two communities that both have suffered discrimination, like whether it's the black people in slavery and everything that happened post-slavery, even to what we go through nowadays.
Paid opposition.
No organization that holds any weight. And that means that you don't hold no weight. We don't have no organization that holds no weight. You can't speak bad about a Jewish person because they have organizations and they're a close-knit group of people in power who will bring you down. Same thing with gays. You can't say nothing bad about gays because they move as a unit. Black people don't have that.
I mean, if you do a racist comment about black people, there are repercussions.
When?
You don't just walk away from that.
Who? Tell me, give me an example.
I mean, Kramer.
That's because he was white. And nothing really bad happened to him. You know why nothing bad happened to him?
really hurt him again.
I think because he got so rich that he was just cool.
And like Jews don't go out and try to recruit people into the religion like, you know, certain Christians and Muslims.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even feel comfortable talking about this. I'm sweating right now. I don't disrespect things. There's certain things I don't like to talk about, and I love Jewish people. They're powerful. I don't want them to misconstrue anything I'm saying or take anything I'm saying the wrong way. So I would much rather not even have this conversation. I have a lot of great Jewish people on my corner. I have a Jewish conglomerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers? Because there's Jewish owners and Jewish CEOs. They run these labels. They're the bosses. That's why I'm uncomfortable.
What did Kanye say? He said, happy Kwanzaa to all the artists and
happy Kwanzaa to all the labels. It's the truth. They run the business.
Heard it from him first. Jews run the world. It's not girls, Beyonce. It's Jews. I know. Sorry.
And I mean, it's not like, for example, right? The Jewish people, whenever you say stuff like this, like, oh, the Jews run the world, or the Jews, the Illuminati, the Jewish secret societies and stuff, they get mad. They're like, this is anti-Semitic. But you can look up Nick Grohl, a Jew himself, when he was winning an award. He was like, yeah, Jewish people run the media. Like, so there's an acknowledgement within their own camp. It's like when gay people they'll use the word in context of referring to themselves or even like someone else in the gay community.
Joking around, but not serious. You know,
but
insult to each other.
If you use it,
kind of like the N-word.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Just for gay stuff.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what this kind of feels like. Like, if a Jewish guy says, oh yeah, like, we run this shit, fucking, we got mad labels, we got mad movie production companies, we got mad fucking this and this. I mean, like, even like the Bilderbergers, the Rothschilds, the motherfuckers with billions. Like, are those American sounding names?
I have the most ancient explanation, and it's gonna piss everybody off, but when people say that the Jews killed Jesus, everybody's pissed off, but it's a fact. Can't change history. Sorry, that's what happened. Jews killed Jesus. Doesn't change anything. People get mad about that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. They're like, you're gonna say Jews killed. History says it, motherfucker.
I mean, I don't know if they killed them. Like, they condemned them to death. Yeah, you know what I mean?
If I gave you up to someone who I knew was gonna fucking murder you, I killed you.
Well, I mean, and there's also like,
but I killed your ass.
Different accounts. Like, for example, right? Like, I remember there's an account of where when the Romans got Jesus, they asked the Jews, like, yo, we just gonna punish him and let him go, and they was like, nah, kill him. You know what I'm saying? And there's,
but, you know, either way, my whole thing is like, you gave him up to the enemy, and
but yeah, in that sense,
your people, your like savior, your Messiah, and you gave him up.
Well, they didn't recognize him as the Messiah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, they were his people, whether they wanted to be or not. They were his people, and they gave him up. And that's part of history. That's part of their history, Christianity's history. Everybody believes that to be true. Yeah. So why are we mad about facts? Just like, why are we mad about the fact that all these Jewish people own all these companies or industries or businesses? If they're saying a fact, you can't get mad at them because the fact is ugly. It doesn't change the fact. The fact is the fact.
Because it's hurtful
sometimes
to them
until it's profitable. We hated the Nazis until we needed scientists. All of these things were like true at the same time. They're ugly, but they're both true at the same time. We don't condone prostitution, but we have brothel houses in Las Vegas.
We have OnlyFans.
We don't like marijuana legislation or marijuana to be, you know, used or smoked or whatever, but we allow it in certain states, and people get licenses to sell it. If they have enough money to get the license, they have $500,000 to get a license from the state to sell the same drugs they put all these people in jail for. We're very hypocritical in general, but we're very hypocritical when it comes to free speech. Because you can say it about certain things and certain people, but you can't say it if it's going to piss people off that run shit. Just like it works in every other, you know what I'm saying? Imagine those hyenas saying something to Scar while he was running shit. It wasn't going to happen. he'd be like, I'll fucking murder all you hyenas, and I'll find some new ones. That's just how it is when people run shit. If it was a bunch of black people running the world, they would be mad every time a white person said the N-word. It'd be a crime. You know what I'm saying? It'd be bad. But that's not the way the world works. You know, that's why this racist shit goes on forever, because the people that run shit are either inherently racist or they're just racist by default because they allow the racist shit to continue. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel you though, but I mean, I guess like it sometimes it hurts to hear the truth. It's like when a fat woman will ask you like if the dress makes her look fat, you're supposed to say no, but it's like nah,
no, it doesn't. You were fat before you put the dress on. Like that would have been the honest answer.
But you know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, does when it comes to these subjects with the Jews, it's kind of touchy, right? Like even now, Kyrie, he got suspended for 5 games because he promoted a book called From
Black Jews.
Negro to Hebrew or something like that, about how the true Israelites are black people, right? He, mind you, bro didn't comment on it or nothing. He just promoted it, posted it. The Jews came after him. And why? And the thing is, why are the Jews so obsessed with Judaism, claiming it as their own, if we historically know that they are not the true Jews? Like, they're still that's why they're still trying to kick the Palestinians out of their land now.
I mean,
like,
that's why they wanted the U.S. to have the embassy where they wanted them to have it at. Because of that, so they can be recognized on the world stage as the Jews of all Jews. You know what I'm saying? That the Palestinians and the Israelites had no rights to those, you know, places. So,
but why? And the thing is, like, I guess, like, why are they so focused on keeping that from black people?
I don't know.
Like, are they afraid that if black people knew who they were and their true identity, that they would no longer allow themselves to be subjugated by their white Jewish counterparts?
I mean, probably, you know, like any other great realization.
But, like, for example, right now, I think a lot of this stuff is happening. This coverage, I guess, of this anti-Semitism and stuff is because right now in Israel, they had been announcing for quite some time that they had that the Messiah had returned. That the Jews, again, the Jews did not recognize Christ, who first was crucified on the cross, as the Messiah. They said that he was going to show up at some point later. Now they recognize some dude as their Messiah.
He pulled that Oculus Quest and was like, look at the new world I brought you.
Now he's performing miracles and shit. You know what I mean?
Niggas is riding roller coasters in the desert.
And I think that's what's going on. I think they're trying to get the world's pity right now because they're about to announce the Antichrist. They're going to announce their fucking Messiah. And when they do, like, what's the Bible tells us about the Antichrist? New World Order, mark of the beast. If you don't take this mark, you can't go to the hospitals, you can't eat.
Mark is called TikTok.
Sounds like the vaccine. Like, remember when they said, yo, you don't get this, you can't go to the gym, can't go to the movies, can't. Imagine when they do that shit for real. When you know what I mean? Like, they go, hey, you either gotta accept me as your God or you can't go to the supermarkets. You can't do all this other shit. But if you can drum up the sympathy for the rollout when the time comes, you know what I mean? And that dude starts performing miracles outside of Israel. It may be that time where, you know, like, shit got real.
It's Tylenol on the Percocets, you know.
But I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to get too biblical on you guys. You know what I mean? Even though
so we're waiting the night for all yet.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know. There's a bunch of crazy shit going on. Have you ever got your package late?
Definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever got your package late because a nigga got chased by a dog while delivering your package?
No.
Well, an Amazon driver has experienced this when he was chased by 2 dogs.
He wasn't chased by dogs. He got eaten.
Oh, he got eaten by.
He died.
God.
Yeah, they found his body 2 days later.
Dogs. I guess he was delivering a mattress or something heavy that he couldn't run away from the dogs with. And he didn't have that strap on him. He should have had his blicky with him. That's what I say.
Nah, man, that should be real. Like, I remember I used to work at Cutco when I was going through like my struggle phase and shit, and fucking like I used to go door to door trying to get appointments to show these people. No, not Cutco. It was the vacuum one. Was it Kirby or some shit?
Yeah, Kirby does vacuums.
Yeah, I was selling one of them fucking dumbass expensive vacuums, right? So we just had to go door to door, knock on houses.
They're very efficient, but they're crazy expensive.
Yeah, $2,000. Nobody paying $2,000 for a vacuum unless it's giving me head. Yep. Fucking when I went and knocked, I'm
sucking something off.
I remember one time I went to this house. It's like we went to like this really nice residential like Maryland neighborhood, right? And I went to this door, I knocked on the door, and like a fucking giant black dog just comes around the corner. No leash, nothing separating him from me and him. He just sees me at the fucking door knocking. It was, and I'm just like, fuck this job. No, I was just like, fuck this job. I was just like, piddle paddle. I walked it like I talked it. My ass right up. I was like, fuck this job.
You gotta have that.
That Takashi. That's 6'9".
Fuck that dog.
Nah, but it sucks because like I've seen plenty of videos where Amazon drivers got like chased by like, you know, fucking dogs, or like they'll have like a dog like waiting for them at the door.
We should
like
definitely have a commercial for that. Like what we wouldn't do for our Prime members, and then just have a brother.
All I know is if you want your fucking package and you have a fucking like man-eating dog, maybe like put him in
Dropbox instead.
Put him in the closet. You know what I mean? Until you get your package.
Closet, deliver your package to Walgreens. They have the service. You don't have to get it delivered to your house.
Pretty sure Amazon tells you when you're gonna be getting your package, like around what time frame.
Your dogs away.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Because you might end up with somebody who do got a blicky.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna feel bad if he blows your dog's brains out.
Me either.
Like I'm gonna watch the video and be like, well, that's what I would have done.
You're
like,
trying to deliver your package, not get delivered to Jesus like that.
Oh yeah, he sent him straight to God, express shipping. Like, but you know what I mean? Like you should be more considerate, even if you're not getting an Amazon package. Like, what if you just had like a fucking kid who's running away or some shit, like and needed help, or fucking a neighbor or something, and you got this fucking man-eating dog just fucking ready to devour. Like, nah, man. Like, keep your Michael Vick dogs out in the closet where they belong. Like, and then get your package, and then you can let them roam free. But when you know you got people coming over, like, the fuck,
yeah,
it's not hard.
But speaking of roaming free, Russia offers U.S. states to break away and join the Russia Federation. Sounds like a fucking Star Wars movie. Join the rebels. Fuck the Empire. That's what it sounds like.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Before you know it, we'll be giving out stolen vodkas and making fucking potatoes our rations and shit. It'll be a nuclear war with these motherfuckers because they're crazy.
I mean,
I don't know. I personally feel like when a man's been a president for longer than I've been alive, and he keeps getting elected, and all his friends run an entire country and they're taking over other countries next to them, that man is to not be fucked with. And he didn't do anything crazy while Trump was president. The one thing I gotta give him credit for, he wasn't fucking with the crazy orange man. He wasn't. But as soon as this nigga signed the dotted line,
as soon as Sleepy Joe transferred in,
as soon as Sniffy Sleepy Joe transferred into power, he started going ham, like, nope, that country's mine, let me take that.
I got the nuclear codes.
I got the codes, bitch. Fuck with me if you want to have a green Christmas, ho, because that's what the fuck's going to happen. You go night-night on all you bitches. You know what I'm saying? And he knows Sleepy Joe won't come with that fire. You know what I'm saying? He knows that he won't do nothing about it, so he's going to keep pressing him on this shit and talking shit like this. Like, how does somebody tell your countries or your states, United States of America, you break away, come join Russia, we'll break you off with some vodka and potatoes, thinking like y'all can be part of the Russian Federation. Like, as if that would actually work.
I mean, why wouldn't it? America fucking sucks right now. Cause like, if we're being realistic, like
Russia
we're
also sucks too.
Russia sucks dick too. But but don't get me wrong.
Everybody in America would be in jail.
In
right
America,
now for smoking on
America is supposed to be taking care of America, right? But America just constantly ship out cashes to Israel, 50 billion to Ukraine in aid, 50 billion here to all these other countries. Yeah, we have homeless people like left and right. We have starving children. We have kids who can't afford to go to eat their school lunches. We have all kind of fucked up shit going on in our country. If our country don't want to fucking take care of us and another country does, why should we not?
It's just never gonna happen because America's like the world police. They put themselves everywhere militarily, politically, all of that to make sure that no one would turn on them because they always have somebody watching.
But that's if we haven't been. That's because we haven't been invaded. But I'm saying like
that's why they haven't invaded us because we're literally everywhere. We spread our seeds.
But let's say
all over the fucking.
I know the army ejaculated all across the world.
Everywhere they are. They are everywhere.
Let's say it's World War III. Let's say it's nuclear bombs, doomsday event.
Dicks in the vaginas is what I'm saying. They're already fucking impregnating the countries. They're in there. They're deep in all of them. And all of them are having their little American babies everywhere. They're all over the place. So that's their security blanket is be the world police. So when shit pops off, we already got like our in-hand man, you know, to tell us like.
But don't you think that because we're so spread thin across the whole world, that our home is not as protected as it should be?
No, because it's like a defense in chess. Like you put your pawns out there, right? But you still have your whole front line protecting your shit. And if anything goes wrong, right, eventually one of the pawns becomes a queen and it comes back wrecking shit. So that's my whole thing. They put their pawns out there so they can wreck shit. They put their nose in other political business so they can control it. It's all about controlling the narrative. You don't have to have the strongest strength. You just have to be the smartest person, like, in the room that knows the most. So if you know the most, you can take action where other people wouldn't know to take action. So their strategy is to inseminate themselves into everybody's business to the point where they would not have a choice but to have some type of dealing with them. That's why they give those developing countries weapons and they get involved in those business. And it's not just America, it's Russia too. They get involved, China as well. Same thing. All those people control the narrative so shit like this doesn't even get out. People don't hear about it, but yeah, that's what they do. They put their whole military budget. People wonder why we spend all these trillions of dollars. No one says a fucking thing. But these teachers or people that steal school time or whatever, they're getting thrown in jail. But they're not getting thrown in jail for all the billions of dollars that just fucking disappear because we know where that money's going. You know what I'm saying? It's to keep us fucking safe. That's why we haven't been invaded. That's why we haven't had any major conflicts from other countries. They're not coming over here and starting to do shit because we already have missiles pointed at their dicks. You know what I'm saying? And we can hit their balls with like a half an inch accuracy. You know what I'm saying? So they're not coming for us.
Man, I think that works with everyone but Russia and China because they have.
Russia doesn't care because it's not Russia. It's the president. It's Vladimir. He don't give a fuck. He's like, look, bitch, I'm rich. All my friends rich. We run this whole fucking bitch. Like you're not gonna. If you come in here and take me out, you're taking everyone out because we're all implicated. We're all involved. This is our shit. So I don't care about dropping a nuke. You know, he wouldn't care about doing that because if he's not in power, he's lost already anyway.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because I think Russia and China are the only two that can probably compete with us on a technological level and when it comes to population. You know what I'm saying? Like they outnumber us, but we have a little bit more technology than they do. But if you combine China and Russia together and swap technology and, you know, they have a little partnership and a little federation, I think they can invade the fuck out of us and fuck us up. And I think that it's going to happen eventually because we're at a time where they have allowed this country to become destroyed.
My thing is
whether
like, it's more, China's more technological than war. It's like to make us stupid. It's not to actually invade, and they've already invaded us and done that. We already gave us fucking TikTok. They already gave us Facebook Reels. They already got together and said, this is what we want to point your eyes at.
You think that's enough? China has a population problem. They have too many fucking Chinese people in China. So you think that they wouldn't invade one of the greatest countries of the world?
I didn't say they wouldn't. I'm just saying that their strategy is to make us stupid. so that we can't be competitive with them. And it's working.
I mean, I think that's part of the strategy. I think TikTok is definitely I think TikTok is spy. It's a spy gathering. It gathers information from us.
But it's deeper than that. Like,
and makes us stupid. And entertains us.
They have a block on how long they can view what material, and they have to take an automatic break, and it's not like allowed to be changed. And they point their eyes towards educational things, where in America they point towards like
dances, girls,
you know what I'm saying, or
twerking, fucking
mindless, you know. But
like,
they don't point it towards educational shit. They're not trying to make the population better. They're not putting restrictions on social interactions. They're just saying, fill your heads with this mindless, numbing bullshit, because that's what we want you to focus on. Not the fact that you have less money, or that things cost more, or that you're basically getting fucked in your pay, your paycheck, your values. All your shit, your everything is going down while we're on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the world is doing significantly better than us in that regard. Besides our pay cuts and all these other things with the economy, we're kind of getting fucked. So, yeah, I guess I can see why people would want to go, but at the same time, I don't know if it's realistic. Honestly, it's not going to happen, I don't think.
Well, I think it can, because China just started a new currency based off gold and other minerals. So they're going to devalue the U.S. dollar. Right now, the U.S. dollar is the central, currency for most countries. Not all, but for most. You have like the International Monetary Bank and all this other shit. So once the U.S. no longer is the global currency, like, we're fucked. And that's what Russia's bank. That's why Russia and China created a new currency for it. They're going to try to bankrupt us. Then you have already Sleepy Joe running out of diesel and all these other things happening on top of that.
Niggas
like,
have changed and shit. Like, we don't have any coins.
We're giving them the prime fucking opportunity of a lifetime for them to take and invade. And I'm saying, why wouldn't they? If we've have like 2/3 of America is overweight, like, then we have our fittest men spread across the world. We have a weak leadership. It's weakened at Bernie's every week at the White House. Why the fuck would this giant monolith of two countries not fucking invade and attack if we're at our weakest?
It's mostly because Americans have more guns than there are Americans. That's the one big reason not to invade a country. Everybody in the country is not poor.
I mean, that's part of it, I think.
A lot of people have weapons. There are 3 weapons for every 1 American.
But Russians also wrestle with bears. I don't think that they're afraid of us because we got guns.
You can wrestle as many bears as you want. You can't get strong enough to dodge a bullet, bitch. If I shoot
but you're shooting too.
You're gonna die.
It's not like they don't got guns. They got guns. They got tanks. They got, you know what I mean? Drones that crash into buildings and have explosives on them.
They don't speak English, and we will shoot on sight. You know what I'm saying? They would have to infiltrate on a scale unbeknownst to...
Well, they also look like white people, though. So, like, it's going to be hard to distinguish...
They are pale people.
No, what I'm saying is to pick them apart from just your average other white person. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't pick them apart. But the thing is, like, they would just have to, like, wake up one day and murder everybody. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that we're too strapped up in this, this part of the world for that type of shit to go down so easily.
I don't think it'll be easy, but I think that Russia and China could do it. I think they have the numbers and they have enough technology. I just think that we have to be weakened enough for it to happen. Whether it's, us running out of diesel and EMP, whatever the fuck it would take to just stop everything. And once people just stop and everyone's like, what's going around, and starts panicking, and then shit starts happening, like Red Dawn, that would be the prime opportunity. And I think it could happen if we do not pay close enough attention, because clearly Joe Biden is. The only thing he's paying attention is the ice cream trucks. So we need to get on board and...
Pantene Pro Mead.
Yeah, like, and whatever's on Hunter's laptop. You know what I mean? But, like, it's just a crazy state of affairs. You know what I mean? Like, we have a messiah in Israel. We have fucking Russia and China, fuck us up. And we have a country about to just collapse on itself.
Yeah.
Fucking...
The economy's doing bad. Kanye lost half his worth. Talking about the Illuminati.
Nah, even more. Because he was supposed to be at like $9 billion. Now he's less than $1 billion. So, I mean, like...
He lost a lot of money.
Yeah. But that's what happens when you stand on some shit. You know what I mean? And you refuse to bow down. Like, and that's just how it be. Like, it's eye-opening to show, like, you just stand against just one group of people. Like, you could be racist as hell and you will never lose as much amount of shit you would say as if you said you were a black Jew. You'll lose everything. But thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you guys check this out on YouTube. Trying to create some amazing content. We're going to be promoting and pushing out there for you guys. We are not going to stray from dark topics. So just like we're going to be honest as fuck, just like we did on the Takeoff subject, just like we did throughout. We are consistently highly offensive. And that is never going to change. That is our integrity and the code of ethos by which we abide. So if you do not like it, suck a dick. Like, fucking, it is what it is.
Bratwurst size dick.
Anyways, man,
Big old
just tune in every 2 weeks, every 2 Saturdays. We're gonna drop a new episode. Make sure y'all support. Show us some love, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that weird shit that YouTube makes you do for us stay in your Chinese-based algorithms. Fucking, so we can be there every week or every other week or whatever the fuck, popping up on your feed, giving you that real fucking news with real opinions and some real shit being discussed. Because we're not bought out. We don't got no sponsors yet. We're not paid for. We're not slaves. You know what I'm saying? We're free men with free opinions, and that's what we stand by. So thank you for tuning in. You guys got any closing remarks on the way out?
Nah, just be free thinkers. Don't be so easily offended. Go to work, you little bitches. Stop complaining. And if you called out less, you'd make more money. I don't know. Just put that out there. That's how it works. Or start your own business and tell everybody to go fuck themselves. But either way, you can't.
Go ahead, manager.
You can't work for somebody and then not show up to work and expect to get paid. That's what happens.
Anyways, highly offensive, new highly offensive, episode 2. Don't know what we're gonna call this yet, but we'll figure this later. Anyways, thank you guys. Y'all be easy.
Peace.